Hello, my friends! Welcome back. You're watching TTBurger Game Reviews here on YouTube, and I am your host, Tony. And we are still in December celebrating the Christmas season. Sadly, no TTBurger Snow today, because we're not talking about a snowboarding game or a snowmobiling game or anything involving snow. So, the TTBurger's Burger Magic Snow was not here today, but still, who knows? Maybe it'll come back, maybe it won't, who knows? But we're celebrating Christmas season here, and we're going to talk about first-person shooters today. Now, those of you who played video games growing up or playing them nowadays definitely know what first-person shooters are. There were tons of popular ones, ranging from ones like Wolfenstein 3D, Doom, Quake 2, the original Quake, and Medal of Honor, and Disruptor, and of course you got Call of Duty, Brothers in Arms, and like more and more. So then of course you got Resistance, Fallen Man, Resistance series, and Killzone, which is definitely one of my favorites. But I'm not talking about any of those. Today I want to talk about a first-person shooter platforming genre that is kind of that is pretty much a family-friendly type one, and I'm talking about the Jumping Flash series. And this is going to be. I'm going to give a shout out to RazorBlade1812, who worked on my PlayStation 5 video with me, because he's a big fan of this series here. So I wanted to give you a shout out there. So RazorBlade1812, this review is for you, bro. Hope you're doing well. This will be broken into two parts. Part 1, we're looking at the original Jumping Flash, and then Part 2, Jumping Flash 2. We have a lot to talk about here. Let's get started with the original Jumping Flash for the PlayStation, released on November 1st, 1995. This game is in the long box version here. This is the plastic one. You also have like the big thick jewel sized Saturn case when it came in too. But if you can find this one is definitely the way to go, because this is the better case in my opinion. But get started here. Now, the concept for Jumping Flash is an interesting concept for a video game first-person shooter. The game was labeled as one of the very first 3D first-person shooters, and that was done right. It's a great game, short and repetitive, but great for the most part. And this is a family-friendly style first-person shooter, so there's no blood or anything like that, and nor does it doesn't need blood or anything to make it good. So I'm just saying there. For the story of Jumping Flash, you play as Robbit, who is a mechanical rabbit that's on his mission to stop the evil Baron Aloha from capturing colony needs for his own free will and more. And that's pretty much all I can say about the story. It's not really deep, and nor does it need to be, because it was an early first-person shooter, and the story was not really needed for games like this. It was just go here and there, get to point A to point B, collect the items needed, and there we go. Basically what the story was. And that's all I can say about it. So. And I know people want to know about the story, but play the game to find out. For the game's presentation, the game's graphics are good, but have not aged all that well. Sure, they look good for its time in 1995, but they are blocky, and the draw distance is not the greatest, and the frame rate suffers at times as well. I have seen worse though, but still, like, I guess I'm not going to be too hard on it, because this was a game that came out in 1995. So that's just me though. For sound, I gotta say I like the sound. Good, happy sounding music and hokey but funny voice acting definitely fit the sound there. I mean, there's not much to say about it. I mean, you just got the music, which actually sounds really good. It's happy sounding music, and it actually fits the style, the theme of the story. And the hokey voice acting is good and funny. I mean, it's not bad. It's hokey but funny voice acting. I mean, it's hokey and funny is what it is. For the gameplay at the time was innovative, because this was back in 1995 when 3D games were not big at its time, and it showed that games were evolving into the next era of gaming. However, Jumping Flash here does get repetitive. This is basically a first-person shooter with platforming in it, and it has a family-friendly theme to it. As Robbit, you go around defeating enemies with your laser and other items you find, like little twisters, Roman candle lasers, rockets, and cherry bombs, and more. But your main goal as Robbit is to collect jet pods that are scattered throughout each level. You must find 4 of them to get to the exit and advance. The jet pods are scattered throughout various parts of each level, and it adds challenge to them because the levels are huge and long. You also have this double jump where you can reach very high places, and it does come in handy definitely. There are a total of 18 levels, and you have a boss at the end of each world as like the 3rd level. In each world you have 3 levels to it, 2 regulars and then the boss. It'll not take you that long to beat. It'll probably take you about like 4 hours or so, or maybe less if how good you are. And the game is pretty easy for the most part if you know what you're doing. It's a fun game for sure, ahead of its time in 1995. But now we gotta get into the negatives here of Jumping Flash. First off, the game gets repetitive because all you do is click the jet pods and reach the exit, and that's pretty much what you do. Sure, they're scattered throughout the levels, and they're big levels and stuff, but all you do throughout the game, aside from the bosses and defeating enemies, is just clicking the jet pods and reaching the exit. The controls are not the best. They could have been improved because they are somewhat stiff when you're moving and turning around. Plus, there's no sidestep feature either, which basically gets you really hung up on walls, and if you're stuck and stuff, then it's gonna be an issue. But that's pretty much all the negatives I gotta say there. Final thoughts here are: if you like first-person shooters and you want to try out one of the very first 3D first-person shooters with some platforming elements in it, Jumping Flash does not disappoint at all. It should be definitely on your collection if you like first-person shooters and platforming all in one game. Due to the complaints I have with Jumping Flash here, I'm going to give it a score of a 9 out of 10 because it's still a great game, just a little repetitive and stuff, and some other problems I have with it, but still, it's a game that should not be overlooked at all if you like first-person shooters and 3D platformers. And that's all I gotta say for episode 163, part 1 of 2. Stay tuned for the final part. We're going to look at Jumping Flash 2 for the PlayStation exclusive once again. How does this game fare from its predecessor? Find out next, but that's all I gotta say. And if you like what you see here, subscribe, like the video, comment down below, and join my Discord group, TTBurger Gaming United. I'm always looking for more people to join. The link is in the description below, and it's a permanent link that will not go away for 24 hours, so click on it and join, because I'm always looking for more people to join, and I would like talking to my subscribers, definitely. And that's all I gotta say here. This is Tony, peace out, have a great day, see you all in part 2.